people will talk about the child having attachment difficulties or an attachment disorder, that sort of thing. What is attachment?
Yeah, yes, you're right. It's something. It's a word that we often talk about when we're talking about looked after children, and it's it is quite a big subject, and trying to define it is is quite a difficult thing. But I guess for me, I look at it this way: is that when we've all got relationships. We've all got relationships, and the first relationship is with our mother or father, or both parents, depending on who's around. And that first relationship is a really important relationship. It kind of creates the blueprint for all the other relationships to be built on. So if we can imagine for looked after children, they may have gone into care for all sorts of reasons, and so they've been separated from that. Their birth parent, and then by the very means of having that separation, that can cause difficulties in young people, because actually they're having to rely on somebody, a new foster carer, and then that might end, and then they might go to another foster carer. So there might be lots of situations where they've been moved around and nothing's felt really safe or secure.
It's very hard to build relationships if you don't trust that the people are going to be around forever, isn't it?
Absolutely, Jeremy. People, the young person then is really struggling, because how do I trust that you're going to be there for me? And so then what happens is, something might happen, and so I've been promised a trip out as a young person, and then something's happened and that's changed, and I might not be able to bear that actually, because for me, that feels like, something's changed, that I've been abandoned, the thing I was expecting is not going to happen. And that, what we call attachment behaviours, that will trigger an attachment behaviour in me. And they come, and I think they come in different styles. We might talk about anxious attachment. So actually supporting our carers to understand what that means for a young person and how that affects brain development and all sorts of things,
And different ways they can deal with it as well.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. And so, being thoughtful and boundaried, but trying to really sit alongside and show empathy to a young person, because sometimes that is the very thing that they haven't had.